The floor is yours, Dr. Munir.
So, hello everyone. My name is Munir Hamdi. I'm the Dean of the College of Science and Engineering. Assalamu alaikum. I want to thank you and welcome you to this graduate studies information session about the College of Science and Engineering. We have with us our colleagues that will also give a presentation to you today. As you know, the College of Science and Engineering, they have three divisions: the Division of Sustainable Development, the Division of Information and Computing Technology, and the Division of Engineering Management and Decision Sciences. And each of our colleagues, they will give presentation about this. Also, before that, Dr. Amin Bermak, the Associate Dean for Graduate Studies, will give you a general introduction about the college. From my side, what I can assure you is that if you join the College of Science and Engineering, you will get the best education possible. As you might know, as a college, we have grown quite a bit, especially recently, that all the programs and the faculty members that used to work for Texas A&M in Qatar, they joined us. So we have a large number of undergraduate programs, a large number of graduate programs, and from your own benefit, a large number of faculty members. Not only our own faculty members, but we also have our colleagues in the research institutes. For example, Qatar Computing Research Institute or Qatar Energy and Environment Research Institute, that many of them are involved in our teaching and student supervision. So basically, we have all the students that come to our programs, they do extremely well, not only academically and in terms of research and so forth, but when they graduate, they get very good jobs, either in all the major companies in Qatar or even in the region and worldwide. Whether you have a master's degree or a PhD degree, many of our PhD graduates now, they are professors in many universities in Qatar and elsewhere. And our master students, they have a prominent positions within Qatar. So we definitely do our very best to give you the best education possible. And that's why when our students, they join us, they get also some of the most prestigious awards within Qatar and worldwide. So as a dean, all what I can assure you is that you will get the best education when you join the College of Science and Engineering. The other thing that I want to mention before I give it to my colleagues is that we receive a lot of applications. So it is extremely important for you to start your application as soon as possible. I mean, we receive thousands of applications and we have a limited number of positions. So the sooner you start, the better for you, so that we can process the application as soon as we can. So again, once again, thank you for joining this information session. And I look forward to welcoming many of you next academic year. So I will now give it to my colleague, Dr. Amin, that he will show some video about the university, and at the same time will give you general information about the college. Then after that, some information about the divisions, which will be given by all our colleagues that are attending here. Thank you very much.
Within the ICT division. So we would like to start first with the general overview of the university. Asdin, maybe you can play the video, please.
Dear prospective students, welcome to Hamad bin Khalifa University HBKU, and congratulations for taking the first step in the pursuit of your graduate education journey. The Graduate Open House provides a great opportunity for you to get more information about the university and its academic program offerings. Also, it offers as an opportunity for you to interact with our faculty, researchers, and staff. If you choose to pursue your graduate education at HBKU, you will be empowered with the HBKU mindset. This unique mindset will provide you with ample opportunities to deepen your knowledge in your chosen field of interest, deepen your research and critical thinking abilities, and further develop your leadership, entrepreneurial, communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity skills. We wish you a productive experience at the Graduate Open House and welcome to HBKU.
Hadir, can you play the slides, please? So basically today we're gonna start with the introduction, general introduction of the college. And as Dr. Munir has mentioned, the college has 3 divisions. And then once I finish the introduction, general introduction about the college, I will pass it to my colleague to specifically talk about the 3 different divisions. I would like to remind you that basically we will at the end of the session, we will have a good amount of time to answer your questions, any questions you may have. And to do that, please make sure that you type in your questions. If you are using a laptop, then you can see the icon at the bottom here, and you can use it to type your question. Or if you are using a mobile phone, as you can see here, you can use these icons in order to type in your question on your mobile phone. So let me start with the college. Next. So this is going to be a general introduction about the college. So as we mentioned earlier, the college includes 3 divisions. The first one is sustainable development, where we offer 2 master programs and 2 PhD programs related to sustainable energy and also sustainable environment. We have the second division, which is the information and computing technology, where actually we started mainly with graduate programs, but recently we are also going to offer undergraduate program. In terms of the postgraduate program, we have a PhD in computer science and engineering. We have a master in science and cybersecurity, master of science in data science and engineering, and also a master of information system in health management. Together with the College of Health and Life Science, we do offer also a master of data analytics, MDA, in health management, and also the looking at the division of engineering management and decision sciences. Hadir, can you go forward? So we previous one, please. So the engineering management and decision science also offer, in collaboration with the University of South Carolina, we offer a master in sports and entertainment management. Next. So basically, we are a very young and dynamic college. We started, as you can see, our intake back in 2015. So you're talking about less than 10 years. But we have been growing very, very steadily and exponentially. And as you can see, this is the total number of basically the students that we admitted, looking at Qataris and non-Qatari. Basically, in a nutshell, it's roughly 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. So we admit 1/3 Qataris, a bit more resident, and also about, I would say, 1/4 international students. In terms of distribution, in terms of female and male, we're almost like 50%, 47% female, and basically 53% males, which is a very nice distribution in terms of gender. Next. So this is, again, the distribution in terms of the master, PhD, and bachelor programs. We were predominantly a graduate school where we had mainly master and PhD, but we are also growing in terms of undergraduate. These are the numbers in terms of undergrad, but this is going to grow substantially in upcoming years. And as you can see, and as Dr. Munir mentioned, the dean, basically it's a very competitive environment, and we do receive a lot of applications. As you can see, the number of applications has been growing exponentially, and we're talking about more than 10,000 applications that we receive every year in terms of the graduate students. Our acceptance rate is somewhere between 2% to 10%, and typically our average GPA for the last intake that we had is about 3.7 out of 4. So again, we are very competitive, and we do admit the very top students. Next. This is actually the number of graduates per year. And as you can see, roughly, we are reaching the steady state in terms of graduate students, basically students who are graduating every year. We graduate about, I would say, close to 40 students now at steady state, 40 PhD students. And this has been growing steadily over the years. Now there is, in Qatar, there is a program that is called JESRA. This program is meant to offer scholarship to students to pursue their graduate studies. And consistently over the years, we have obtained a very large number of these scholarships across Qatar. In fact, about 50% of all JESRA that are awarded to all universities in Qatar, actually 50% of them will go to our college, which shows that we are really a predominantly graduate program or graduate school, very well recognized within Qatar. Next. So I'm going to share with you very briefly, I'm going to go through this very quickly, some of the achievements of our students. Our students get many best paper awards. They do publish a lot during their master and also PhD. These are the numbers. Actually, you can see we publish very extensively with our students, like in 2021, 2022. The research publication by our PhD was in the order of 172, which is a very large number. You're talking about roughly about 40 students graduating every year, so you can do the ratio. The ratio is pretty high, and also we do transfer a lot of technologies to industry. A lot of technology transfer is being done at the college level, and as you can see, for example, we filed an average of about 5 to 8 patents every year. Now, our students, when they finish, they go to local industry, but also they join very well-recognized international schools. For example, we have students that go to Kahrama, Qatar Airways, Keri as researchers, some of the international firms here in Qatar, such as Siemens and Shell and Qualcomm, Vodafone, and also some of the ministries within Qatar, like MOTC, MOFA, Ministry of Defense, and so on. Some of our students, master students, for example, they also got basically spots of PhD in other schools, and also once they graduate, they go as faculty members in other universities. We have examples from McGill, TAMU, even Stanford in Sweden, UK, and Glasgow, and so on. Next. This is looking at the number of publications per year. This is actually from our students. As you can see, the number is exponentially increasing. And for example, we in 22-23, our students published close to 300 papers. And as you can see, also, we are increasing in terms of number of technology transfer and patent that are filed by our students. And again, we do very well every year in terms of scholarship from the government, JESRA, and this accounts for a very large number of students and also a good amount of funding. Next, which is in the order of 17 million roughly every year. These are some of the awards. This is just a snapshot of some of the awards that our students get. As you can see, they go into a lot of national and international competition, such as the Qatar Educational Excellence Award that is given by His Excellency the Emir. And every year we actually receive these awards. A lot of other awards, such as the Qatar Educational Excellence, QSTP awards for technology transfer, entrepreneurial, research award, basically in young researchers category, and some other like AI type of competitions. For example, we were the winner of one of the best AI-driven propaganda detection competition that was held here in Qatar, and also internationally. For example, one of our students, he won the basically the gold medal in exhibition of invention in Geneva. Next. So again, this is a snapshot of some of the awards. I don't have time to go through all of them, but this is just a snapshot, as you can see. Next, Hadil. And again, this is one of the very prestigious awards in Qatar. His Highness the Emir gives basically a Qatar recognition for best PhD and best master, and we are present there at almost every year actually. Next. Again, some of the awards. You can go next. So our students are really very high achievers, as you can see, and a lot of very good, basically honors in different type of competitions, whether national and international as well. Next. All right. This is it's a very important indicator of quality. So it's really the type of job that our students get. So for example, some of our students are faculty in different universities, for example, locally in the University of Science and Technology in Doha, in the UAE, Florida State University. Some will go on basically to industry, very, very well-recognized industries, such as Qualcomm, eBay, Aberdiola here in Qatar, but also other institutions within Qatar and outside Qatar. Next. All right. In fact, some of our students are also very successful entrepreneurs. And one very good example of this is App Lab. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but this is actually a quite an interesting company that has been growing very, very rapidly. And it was started by one of our students. In fact, he was actually doing his PhD with me. And then he went and started his company. This company has grown to about 85 employees and around 38 million riyal of a turnover. That was in 2021. And I know for a fact that this company is growing very, very rapidly. So some of the students that we graduate are actually very successful entrepreneurs as well. Next. All right, again, sample startups. So for example, QChain, which was started by one of our students, and it has basically won many awards, like the first prize in the World Summit Award in Lebanon in 2019, and some other innovation awards across the region and worldwide. Next. So in terms of faculty, basically when we started the college, we really focus on people. So basically we try to hire the best faculty and also the best students. And this has been growing steadily since we started in 2015. As you can see, we started with 8 faculty back in 2015. Now we are at about 35, but our number has almost doubled now with Texas A&M that is also joining our college. So we are about, if I'm not mistaken, about 60 faculty now. Next. All right. We also have a very diverse body of faculty, including actually Qataris, but also 19 other nationalities, and all graduating from very top schools, such as Michigan. We have people coming from MIT, Texas A&M, Washington University, Maryland, USC, University of Pittsburgh, and some other very top universities across the globe. Next. So this actually highlights the key areas. We call them pillars. They highlight the key areas of our research activities. So we have very strong research groups in the area of sensors, communication and networking, also in the area of cybersecurity, in the area of AI and data analytics, in the area of health-related and human-centered research, in energy and resources, in water, food, and environment, as well as logistics and supply chain management. We have a whole division related to that area. And also recently, we have started very strong activity related to quantum computing. Next. This is actually benchmarking basically our college with some of the top school out there. This is there is actually basically some data published by Stanford University every year, and they rank all scientists across the globe, and they have a ranking in the top 2%. So if you look at the body of faculty that we have more than a third of our faculty that belong to this category of 2% world scientists, which means we have about 35% of our faculty who belong to this category. And if you benchmark this against very top schools around the world, you can see that we rank very highly, even compared to Stanford, CMU, Texas A&M, and some other very top schools. This data is very recent. It's actually updated in 2024. Next. Again, also looking at the quantity in terms of publication, we do publish a lot. We emphasize on research. That's a very, very important area that we look at it in performance evaluation of our faculty. So, for example, in 2023, we had something like 609 research papers in Scopus, and that were produced by our college. In 2024, we already reached the number of 500. And I think by December we will exceed the last year marks. And if you average that with respect to the number of faculty that we have, you will notice that our average publication per faculty is very high. You're talking about close to 18 papers every year. This includes, of course, journal publications and conferences. Next. So these are actually some of the examples of patents that we have filed. We do file a lot of patents. We do emphasize a lot on relevance of our research in the industry, and that's why we try to push for basically technology transfer and also filing patent. And these are actually a sample of some of the patents that our college has filed. Next. So not only in terms of quantity, I have shown you that we do publish a lot, but also in terms of quality. There is this basically quality metric that is called the Field Weighted Citation Index. This actually measures how much your research is being cited and used by other researchers worldwide. It's quite equivalent to citation. So if your number is higher than 1, it means that you are higher than the average worldwide, because the average worldwide would be a 1. So we are at 2.47, which compares very favorably with a lot of very top schools around the world. And this is in all subject areas within the College of Science and Engineering. Next. All right. Also, we are very active because in order to do research, you need to fund the research. And to fund the research, you need to secure grants. So our college is actually very, very active in terms of securing grants. And the number of grants is actually growing very rapidly. As you can see, in fact, the number of projects that we received is getting close to 150 projects. And actually, in terms of amount, every year we receive about, let's say, close to $10 million average every year, which is a very large number compared to the size of our faculty. Next. And this is looking at the distribution of this funding across different funding agencies. So actually, we don't get funding just from the local funding agency, which is QNRF or QRDI, which is the local funding agency here in Qatar. But we also get a lot of funding, as you can see in gray, 26% is other external funding. So we get funding from different agencies, even outside of Qatar, which is basically a testimony of basically our competitiveness. It means we are very competitive internationally. Next. This is actually looking at the distribution of all this funding. If you average it with respect to faculty, you will find that every faculty will hold about 4 to 5 competitive research grants. And actually, as you can see, this is growing very rapidly. In 2024 alone, we have secured about 25 research grants. And as you can see, a wide spectrum of funding agencies that we get grants from, including even, let's say, 2B Tech, including NATO. We get money from NATO, from Samsung, and from local agencies such as, of course, QNRF, but also Barzan and the Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Communication, and other avenues as well. Next. These are actually some examples of external grants. As you can see, Schlumberger, HMC, Rockflow, Barzan, Belmont, NATO. As I told you, we have 2 big grants from NATO, from the Supreme Committee, especially during the World Cup, Samsung, Al Atiyah Foundation, and even also a Japanese firm. And as you can see, this is growing very steadily over the years. So we're talking about basically, on average, we get close or over $10 million per year. Next. All right, this is actually I wanted to show you a sample of innovation that we have done and also technology transfer. So our faculty are also involved in startup. This is actually a startup that is being initiated by one of our very top faculty working on advanced simulation for oil and gas reservoirs. He's working on basically a mega simulator that can simulate oil and gas reservoirs. And he has a startup that is incubated in QSCP here in Qatar. And this will provide ample opportunities for employment also in the area of energy for our graduates as well. Next. Another example of a startup that is also incubated in QSTP. It's called QCon, and it's in the area of basically a green environment. It's a digital waste platform where companies and people can benefit from recycling waste. And it goes with an app and a system that goes online in order to do basically recycling the waste. And it helps, of course, the environment. Next. These are also some of the companies that we work with very closely. And as you can see, our portfolio in terms of collaboration is actually very, very international, but also taking into consideration the local stakeholders, the local government agencies, and also the local basically ecosystem. Next. All right, this is giving you some information about some of the projects that we work on. So we have a very, very active group related to smart sensors. We do a lot of different type of smart sensors that are embedded in textile, embedded in smartwatches, embedded in diapers, and embedded in gloves. So for example, we design and we have a patent related to smart mask, smart diaper, smart gloves. We also design a lot of chips that can be embedded in RFIDs in order to do sensing. For example, they are used for detecting overheating of transformer and switch gears for some of the power companies here in Qatar. And also some of the devices that we have basically designed have been deployed during the World Cup in construction fields in order to monitor basically vital signs of construction workers in the field. Next. So also we design chips that are related to biomedical application. We have one of our faculty who is designing a chip that can measure the blood flow meter. And this is going to be actually incubating a startup very soon. So the idea is actually to design chips in order to monitor the blood flow and also to make it wearable. And this is actually very interesting technology that is being basically incubated in one of our startup that is being initiated basically these days. Next. All right. Also, we do work a lot on medical applications. So, for example, in collaboration with CIDRA, we have a lot of activity going on related to the use of AI for image processing, and in particular medical image processing for processing, let's say, X-rays, for processing basically for skin cancer detection and different type of disease detection by looking at images and trying to classify them using machine learning and AI. And as you can see, some of the performance of these algorithms that we have is exceeding 90%, which is actually quite a big breakthrough in the area. Next. Some other very interesting, in fact, this is also related to a startup and basically an entrepreneurship experience that is being basically initiated by one of our faculty. He's trying to work on a system where you can detect diseases by looking at the retina, and he's using also AI in order to develop algorithm in order to detect some of the diseases just by taking the picture of your retina. And basically, he has shown that he can have an accuracy of over 80% using some of the AI models that he developed. And also, this solution are supposed to be portable, and therefore it's going to be basically can be deployed anywhere, everywhere, and also it can address needs in remote areas and can be accessible to all people worldwide. Next. Again, some of the AI solutions that we have developed in HBKU in the College of Science and Engineering. For example, an AI app to measure mental health of children This is supposed to be deployed for schools, and we are starting a pilot with Qatar Academy schools and also Wish, where we try to deploy this application and also this app for local schools. Next. All right, a lot of applications related to AI. As you can see, we are very strong in AI as well. So, for example, we collaborated with the Ministry of Interior, looking at prediction of traffic accidents by just looking at the history of accidents and traffic around Qatar. And by looking at the previous data, we try to predict what's going to happen in the future so that you can actually predict accidents, and therefore you can dispatch traffic police patrol vehicles and also divert traffic in order to avoid accidents. And also AI is being used by one of our colleagues. In fact, there is a very strong research activity related to autism, using AI for autism spectrum disorder. And this is actually being applied for children. And it serves actually the local community and the society in a big way. Next. All right, again, a lot of very other interesting applications we are working on, like, for example, developing biochar for basically the soil in Qatar, where you try to reduce the usage of water in order to grow, let's say, grass in the stadium. This was a project with the FIFA World Cup, and it's an ongoing project, and it actually gives a very interesting result. As you can see on the bottom left image, if you add just 2% of the biochar that we produce in our labs, you can actually improve the saving of water and also the maintenance of the grass field and also vegetation in general. Next. Again, in the area of sustainability, we have a lot of applications, such as the National Food Security Decision Platform that we built in the college. And this is being led by one of our colleagues. And it's a very interesting National Food Security Decision Platform that is very interactive, and it's using AI and some other tools in order to basically do some prediction and also some decision making. Next. Again, a lot of very interesting basically applications in the area of sustainability. And as you can see here, we do a lot of work with basically smart agriculture as well. We do have a lot of collaboration with greenhouses, where the idea is to improve the basically the efficiency of these greenhouse, and also in order to reduce the cooling and the energy, and also to reduce the water usage as well. We have faculty who are very active in smart agriculture and greenhouse as well. Next. All right. We also do some robotics work. So, for example, during the COVID, and in collaboration with the RDI, we built a robot in order to go around and disinfect the area. In fact, it even can check for your ihtiraz, and it can detect whether people are green or not green in terms of their ihtiraz status. And at the same time, it disinfects the whole areas. And also, we have a lot of applications related to robotics and AI. Next. All right. Also, we have basically people working in logistics and in inventory control systems. And this is one of the examples of the project. I cannot explain all the projects, of course, because I'm not in the area, but just to show you the diversity of projects that we do actually work on within the College of Science and Engineering. Next. Again, also a lot of projects related to cybersecurity, protecting critical infrastructure using drones. We have a lot of research going on in terms of basically autonomous vehicle, and in particular autonomous drones that can, let's say, for example, navigate and basically inspect infrastructure to protect the infrastructure, whether at the airport or oil and gas infrastructure and so on. Next. All right, this is also some of the research that we have been doing in terms of basically that is related to the culture of Qatar, and also again using AI. So, for example, we have developed a very interesting application which is related to visual exploration of al-hadith. So basically, al-Bukhari, as you know, is a very thick book, and we have digitized the whole book in a visual and very interactive way. In fact, it's even a virtual reality connected basically display where you can wear VR and you can explore actually the hadith and the interlink between in terms of location and in terms of basically narrators, scholars, and you can navigate that in a 3D space in a very interesting and educative way. Also, we have been working a lot on art, and especially art that is connected to Qatar, where we use AI in order to produce some of the very interesting artwork. And this has been exhibited in a lot of exhibitions within Qatar. And it has given us a lot of visibility in the media and in Qatar Museum as well. Next. All right. So all of this work has resulted by the fact that we are now visible in the international ranking. So if you look at it actually in the area, for example, of computer science and engineering, Hamad bin Khalifa University is on the map globally. So we are ranked in the top between 150 and 200 in top university in computer science and engineering. And this is by the academic ranking of world universities. 150 is actually very, very good for a college that has been around for only about 10 years. This is a great achievement. You may agree or disagree with the ranking, but in a nutshell, what we want to say is we are in the world map and in a very, very short period of time, which shows that we have been recognized internationally by academic ranking agencies out there. Next. So again, in terms of other disciplines, for example, telecommunication engineering, we are in the top 76 to 100. Next. Now I leave it to my colleagues to go to basically the specific divisions. They're gonna explain about the 3 divisions and they're gonna explain about the programs they offer. And I hope that we can collect your questions at the end. So probably we continue with the presentations now, and then we will take your questions towards the end. Peter, you can. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Professor Amin, for the nice introduction. So my name is Peter Desmond. I'm presenting today on behalf of my colleague, Dr. Tariq Ansari, who's the head of the Division of Sustainable Development and Associate Professor at the College of Science and Engineering. Next slide, please. And so within the Division of Sustainability, we address 3 key areas as critical to sustainable economic, environmental, and social development, which are largely related to topics within what we consider the water, energy, and food nexus, which is a critical pillar ultimately to achieve the national strategy for Qatar outlined in the National Strategy of Vision 2030. And so ultimately what you will learn within this Division of Sustainability at HBKU are key tools and principles that are essential in supporting Vision 2030, but also ensuring the sustainable economic development of Qatar. And so in the next slide, please. So within the Division of Sustainable, the previous slide, yeah. Within the Division of Sustainable Development, we've got 2 key programs that address energy, water, and food nexus. The first one is the program of sustainable energy. And the second program we have is the sustainable environment. And both of these programs are offered for both master's and PhD study. So can we go to the next slide? Next, yeah. So within the Division of Sustainable Development, we have some overview here. It was designed in 2015, ultimately to prepare scientists, decision makers, and stakeholders with strong critical thinking skills embedded in the principles of sustainability of social, economic, and environmental practice, to help better understand what do we need to do in order to have a more sustainable economy and ultimately a country. And so this covers areas of innovation in science and technology, and we provide some consultancy services and also providing roadmaps for resiliency in response to climate change. And we have 8 faculty members who are active in the area. And so far we've produced over 90 graduates, 90 dissertation theses, and we're quite active in research grant acquisition to also make sure we are internationally competitive within internationally funded research programs. Next slide, please. Next. So a key focus of the Division of Sustainability looks at coupling enablers of the three pillars that we see here of technology, social, and policy research, and would ultimately to help us develop a sustainable ecosystem that's ultimately resilient and that it has a good degree of adaptability to climate change and climate resilience. So within the technology sector, within the division, we have colleagues who are focused on nanotechnology, materials, automation, but also environmental process engineering, to have clean technologies to minimize the impact or anthropogenic impact on the environment. And so in order to help integrate these technologies into the urban environment, we also have to engage on the level of social studies. And so we have colleagues who are involved in looking at how we can better have behavioral change towards sustainable practices, have a better understanding of demand side management, and ultimately improve the technical understanding needed in order to develop evidence-based policy to have better long-term planning towards sustainable development as we translate these technologies into practice. Next slide, please. And so under the pillar of sustainable energy, it is a multidisciplinary focus of where we're looking to integrate different levels of technologies coupled with policy enablement of these technologies that we develop ultimately for cleaner and greener and more sustainable energy sources. And we see a couple of examples here in the figures below. So we're looking at some research focused on solar, alternative renewable energy sources, coupled with balancing them with hybrid processes from oil and gas production. And next slide, please. Within the sustainable environment pillar, we're looking at largely waste to resource. So how can we best use waste materials that we are generating within the built environment and valorize them to alternative high value products. In my own research area, we're looking at urban water management, and there we're looking at how to best integrate alternative water resources like reclaimed wastewater for irrigation and urban greening, but also how we can tap into more harder to treat water sources or unconventional water sources in some regard, like seawater desalination, in order to have a reliable and resilient potable water supply for the state of Qatar. Next slide, please. And so within the Division of Sustainable Development, we see 8 of our faculty here, ranging from full professors, associate professors, and assistant professors, and covering quite a full spectrum of areas from within the energy, water, food network. And so we see some examples here in the right-hand column of colleagues who are active in developing novel fuel cells, smart power grids, but also to enable that, we have colleagues who would then work closely on developing novel materials and additive manufacturing. So covering quite a wide array of engineering and science topics, all within one division. Next slide, please. So when you join HBKU and when you would join the College of Science and Engineering, and certainly within the Division of Sustainability, there are some, of course, graduation requirements that's good to keep in mind from the outset. And so in order to graduate from our master's program, typically you will have engaged in 3 core courses. You'll have the ability to have selected 5 elective courses relating to some of the specialist subjects that the individual professors are offering, to develop a broader T-shaped profile. So while being a specialist, this is great, but we also have the opportunity to engage in seminars and to get exposure to topics maybe outside of what you would usually be studying within your elective or core courses, to open up your perspective to other disciplines and researchers who are active within Education City or internationally as they would be invited in. The key course of both the master's and the PhD is the 9 research credits for the master's and the 40 research credits for the PhD, where you get to actively engage in research in the lab or as a desk study. And so it gives you the opportunity to directly contribute to the research at HBKU, and certainly a very large number of master students who are engaged in the programs contribute to development of publications that often feature in quite leading journals. So the masters at HBKU and within sustainable development is typically a two-year duration, while our PhD program is 3.5 to 4 years in duration. Next slide, please. So when we take a closer look on the course requirements within the sustainability division for the master's or PhD in sustainable energy or sustainable environment, we have examples here of some core courses in research methods and ethics, as well as sustainability fundamentals and tools, which together, well equip you to tackle emergent issues in the field of sustainable development, irregardless of what your industry is. This can be complemented by, one of the following examples of core courses there in advanced mathematics, numerical methods, or advanced systems optimization, depending on where your specific interest lies. Next slide, please. Here we have some examples from our fall term of electives that will probably closely align with your academic advisor that you would select or you will be assigned to. And we see examples here again covering quite a range of emergent topics and established topics, from energy storage to green building design. And we have also quite a very interesting module called independent studies, where you work with your academic advisor in defining a program of study in an area of your specific interest. So you also have the opportunity to tailor your studies during your master's or PhD to your own individual interests and objectives while studying the conventional curriculum. Next slide, please. Here's an example as well from our spring electives. And so we see here, again, some more established courses from desalination technologies if you're interested in urban water management. But of course, you can also study other topics that may be of your interest, from life cycle of oil and gas fields as an example, or also life cycle assessment tools, which is quite popular amongst our students. Next slide, please. So what are the key enablers? And to keep in mind that HBKU is quite a research intensive university. And so there is quite a lot of opportunities through your study, whether at the master's or PhD, to engage with the researchers, but also our really world-class research facilities that are housed all under one roof. And so at HBKU, at the College of Science and Engineering Labs in Penrose House, or the last building, we have a series of specialist labs with really cutting edge equipment within the water. So we have a water, environmental and desalination lab. So this is actually the laboratory that I'm most active in. And there we have a nice scaled down experimental tools that help us simulate larger scale technologies like seawater reverse osmosis as an example. And within the Education City ecosystem and within the HBKU broader ecosystem, we also have possibility to collaborate with our colleagues at the RDC, the Research Development Campus. And this is an example of where QERI, so Qatar Energy Environmental Research Institute, is based. And there we have access also to the core laboratories there, which cover broader range of techniques from analytical chemistry, materials characterization, microscopy, and again, another water desalination lab. So really, we are quite well equipped to do really cutting edge research. And so your imagination is really the limitation of what can be done. So we really have all of the tools to do fantastic work. Next slide, please. So thank you very much. So I'll hand over now to my colleague from the Division of Information and Computing Technology. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Peter. So hello, everyone. This is Dina Al-Thani. I'm the head of the ICT division. I would like to welcome you all to this open house, and I will be talking about our programs within the division. Next slide, please. So the division basically is very rich in terms of research and program options. Our research span from sensory applications and hardware to big data and security in many applications, including health, assistive technology, transportation, cybersecurity, surveillance, smart grids, and smart cities. Next, please. Basically, as I said, the division is quite big and very rich in terms of options of programs and options of research opportunities. You will interact once you join with the very motivated, talented, and experienced faculty that will basically raise your enthusiasm in the within the field of research that you choose. Of course, the curriculums are designed in a way that they are cutting edge and very interdisciplinary, as I will be explaining in the few next slides. There are opportunities for you to explore real life problems that we address through computing and engineering. There is, of course, state-of-the-art labs and equipment that you will get the chance to use and employ in your research topics. Next slide, please. So as I said, the faculty body is quite rich and quite big. In fact, we have faculty that are actually, as Dr. Amin said, highly ranked in their fields and in the top 2% of the Stanford list of top scientists around the world, as well as we have scientists that graduated from many universities, top universities, whether in North America or in Europe. We are very diverse in terms of our experiences and expertise in the different areas of computing and electrical engineering. And that's what you will see once you join HBKU, inshallah. Next slide, please. We also have joint faculty, which serve within the Qatar Computing Research Institute. As you may know, QCRI is part of Hamad bin Khalifa, and you will get the opportunity to interact with the scientists there, as well as the joint faculty who are scientists in QCRI and joint faculty at our division. There are 3 joint faculty. There is also 1 joint faculty from the College of Health and Life Sciences because of 1 joint program that I will be discussing in today's session. Next slide, please. So I will be discussing 5 of 6 currently running programs. The 5 postgraduate programs I will be discussing in this session. It's 1 PhD and 4 master program. Please, next. So the first program is our PhD program. As Dr. Amin said in the beginning of today's session, our graduate has achieved very much after finishing and gaining their PhD degree. And in the field they chose to continue, whether as an academic or postdoctoral researchers, or even in being included in the workforce in the industry, whether locally or internationally. The program is designed to around 60 credit hours with 3 core courses and 3 electives. You will also get the chance to attend the research seminar, which is counted toward the graduation. In the research seminar, you'll be exposed to the different research areas within the college, within HBKU as a whole, and also to talks from the industry. Following that, so the first year basically will include taking courses, which are core courses and elective courses, as well as the seminar. Following that, you will be enrolled in the thesis hour, which is the dissertation. You will be having a PhD advisor, and you will be taking the dissertation hours in every semester. So the PhD is supposed to be within 3 to 4 years for our students. The courses will include research methods and ethics, applied data analytics, principles of computer system system design and advanced. So you'll get the option to choose between advanced algorithms and data structure and principal computer design. So in total, you'll get 3 core courses. The elective, there is basically a variety of elective courses that are made available to the students every semester, and in the different fields that the programs tap into. So you'll have a variety or a pool of elective courses that you could choose from. Next, please. The second program I would like to introduce today is our Masters in Cybersecurity. This is one of the popular programs at our division. It's a master program with a standard set of credits, which is 33 credit programs in over 2 years. It is a taught program where you will have 4 core courses, which includes research methods, of course, applied cryptography, computer and network security, and security risk assessment. Then, as I said, similar to the PhD, you'll have a pool of electives that are in the different areas that the division tap into that you can select from. You would have to select 4 electives. You will need to take 1 research seminar similar to the PhD program. The seminar gets you exposed to the research topics within the college and beyond. Then you'll have a 9 credit hours research thesis. So it's actually your choice to whether take a 9 credit hour research thesis or a 6 credit hour industrial project, and then you'll have 3 extra hours as an elective. So you'll have 5 elective instead of 4 if you choose the industrial project route. Of course, when it comes to industrial project, the aim is basically to conduct applied research that feed within the goals and objectives within the industrial. So if you are actually working in a company or in the government, and you have a project that you would like to be part of your research masters, so you could conduct an industrial project instead of a research thesis. You'll get to choose your advisor. Once you enroll toward the end of the first semester, you'll be asked to choose your master's advisor that you would like to continue. We have a few number of faculty that actually are expert in the field of cybersecurity, and that might be that the research might be of interest to you. Next slide, please. The next program is the Masters in Data Science and Engineering. So this program also, so all of the master program follow the same sort of structure. So they have 3 credit hours. They are taught over 2 years with 4 core courses and 4 electives. The core courses, they differ, of course, fundamentally differ. So they all include a research method component. However, in the data science and engineering, there is a focus on data analytics, of course. So you'll be taking statistics for science and engineering as a core. As you may know, statistics is the basic knowledge for data science. Then you'll take advanced data management system and applied data analysis. And then you have again a pool of electives to tap into that fit within your research interest and your interest in general. You'll then take basically the 9 credit hour research thesis, or as I said, in the cybersecurity program, you have the option to take the 6 credit hour industrial project and an extra elective. So it's really up to you to decide, and up to your vision and goal of why you enrolled in the program, basically, if you have an industrial project that you're interested in. So it's really up to you, and then you could discuss it with your master thesis advisor. Next, please. We have 2 programs that have a focus on health management, and the reason is that, as you may all know, the world of healthcare is going toward digitization, where AI and different technologies plays a big role in how we experience and interact with healthcare services. So we have two programs in the college that focuses on healthcare. The first one is the Master of Data Analytics in Health Management. This program is in collaboration with the College of Health and Life Sciences at Hamad bin Khalifa University. That's why we have a joint faculty with us from Dr. Nadi Al-Haj, who's a joint faculty from the College of Life Sciences. It's the same structure. The program has the same structure of other master's programs. However, the main difference is that in the core courses, you will be taking a core course in health, basically research methods and genomics. Then you'll have, there is a focus in this program on bioinformatics and health informatics. So you'll take courses that combines basically the knowledge from the computational side as well from the biomedical side. So you'll be taking courses on computational bioinformatics, AI for health, and principles of health informatics. Again, this master course offers the two options of the 9 credit hour research thesis or the 6 credit hour industrial project and an elective. Next, please. So basically, last but not least, another important program that focuses on health. This is the Master of Information System on Health. The idea of this program is to support the digitization of healthcare systems, and hence basically offer an understanding of information systems in healthcare. So that's the core focus of this program, where the core courses will include courses related to information systems in healthcare, the management of information system, the design and analysis of information system. So these are the focus courses within this program. This program only offers the option of industrial project because the way this program is tailored and designed is to serve the healthcare sector, whether they are a medical professional or technology professional would like to enhance their knowledge in healthcare systems. This course is of a choice for them. So there is, as I said, the 4 electives, then it becomes 5 electives in this program because of the industrial project. Next, please. So to this end, I reach the end of the ICT programs. I'm more than happy to answer any questions, and I give the floor to my colleagues from the division of, I think it's the next slide, from the Division of Engineering Management and Decision Sciences. Thank you.
Very much, Dr. Dina. And while I was listening, I see the question, so I am sure you are getting impatient about QA session. But I would like to briefly introduce the Division of Engineering Management and Decision Sciences with my colleague, Dr. Kamila. This is Nazir Aydin. Next slide, please. In the Division of Engineering Management and Decision Sciences, we have 2 disciplines, and one of them is the Logistics and Supply Chain Management, and the other one is the Sports and Entertainment Management, which is going to be presented by Dr. Kamila. And in the Logistics and Supply Chain Management, we offer 2 programs, Master of Science and PhD programs. So to talk about PhD, talk about logistics and supply chain management. Next slide, please. Yeah. Logistics and supply chain management is getting even more importance worldwide, because considering that 1/3 of the cost of all operations in worldwide is logistics and supply, related to logistics and supply chain management. So all within the all systems, designing, planning, execution, monitoring, and controlling, all includes logistics and supply chain management operations in a normal demand satisfying system, starting from the suppliers to the end customers. all these operations need to be planned, need to be optimized, and this optimization is two ways, conducting two ways. One is the flow of the material, and another one is the information flow from the end customers to the suppliers, through the manufacturer and distributors. So in all processes, there is logistics and supply chain management discipline related processes, and which is the backbone of the global trade and economy in the world, worldwidely, in all businesses. Next slide, please. So considering this, having an expertise in this area opens you the door to all businesses, which is really promising in the world. And why we should select logistics and supply chain management, because it just not optimize the processes within the business and the economy worldwide, but also considers the sustainability, environmental modeling, and which is pretty much interdisciplinary study that you will get in HBKU within the division of engineering management and decision sciences. And also it also supports the Qatar's Vision 2030 visions, being the global logistics hub in the region and also worldwide. Next slide, please. So in the division, we have 6 full-time faculty members, and we have two joint members who are supporting us in teaching the AI tools, in teaching the machine learning techniques, and also Industry 4.0. Besides that, the full-time faculties are expertise in operations research management tools, in optimizing, in creating mathematical models, and also optimizing the systems and also the production systems. So we are right now, we are 8 faculty members. Next slide, please. So to talk about logistics and supply chain management philosophy, we have 3 main important legs. One of them is the optimization. In the optimization, we usually apply mathematical modeling techniques and operations research techniques to solve complex models. As you can imagine that the worldwide system is all interacted with each other, and it's related to each other, it interacts with each other, so it creates a big and complex network which needs to be optimized. And this is the first leg of logistics and supply chain management, what it does, optimizing the systems. And another technique, another leg which we apply, is the simulation. We usually use computer-based modeling and analysis, and all these courses, we cover all them in the courses that you will get. And the third one is the data science. As you know, in the data science, we need data to create the models, to optimize the systems, to run the systems, and see how effective it is and how we can improve it. So to analyze the data, also we use machine learning techniques and data science techniques in our courses, and also within the thesis and dissertations with our students. Next slide, please. So to talk about the area where logistics and supply chain management research is related, the first one is oil and gas industry, and maritime freight shipping, aviation and port management, food supply chains, e-commerce, healthcare, and entertainment and sports industry and management. So basically in all area, especially to talk about detail, last mile challenges are solved by the techniques that are learned in logistics and supply chain management, and also the human machine interactions within the plants, warehouse management, green supply chain designs, transportation and vehicle routing. Even talking about today's for the drones, drones will have a network, and this needs to be optimized. Their routing should be optimized, and which is a part of the logistics and supply chain management discipline as well. So And therefore, logistics and supply chain management is becoming even more important. It increased its importance worldwide, and it will really open the doors for the candidates who receive a degree from logistics and supply chain management worldwide. Next slide, please. And to talk about the program requirements to receive a degree as a Master of Science, you will need to take 3 core courses, 5 elective courses, and you will have chance to attend two seminars in which experts, internationally experts, and also within the region are invited, and you will have chance to listen to their presentations and attend and ask questions. And within the dissertation thesis, Master of Science thesis research is going to be 9 credits, totally 33 credits, and approximately it takes 2 years to get a Master of Science degree. For PhD, also there are 3 core courses, 3 elective courses, and 3 seminars. You will have chance to attend 3 seminars, 3 semesters, and 42 research credits, which you directly work with your advisor, the supervisors, and maybe the team, the research team that you will be attended. And totally there will be 60 credits, and approximately the program will take 3 to 4 years to get a PhD degree from logistics and supply chain management. Next slide, please. So what are the core courses? Are optimization models and methods, supply chain management, and research methods and ethics. In terms of elective courses, we have more than this, but we have most important ones are production and operations management, advanced topics in supply chain management, facility and transportation management, industry 4.0, reinforcement learning, machine learning, modeling and optimizations courses are going to be elective courses. And if you are a master degree student, you will take 3 of them. If you are a PhD, you will also take 5 of them to receive a degree. Next slide, please. And from now on, I want to leave the speech to my colleague, Dr. Camila. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nazir. As Dr. Nazir said, I'll be presenting the Master of Science in Sport and Entertainment Management. So who doesn't love sport? We saved the best for last. The Masters of Science in Sport and Entertainment Management is a joint degree with the University of South Carolina. The program was started in 2019, and of course, really to build a local capacity within the sports ecosystem in Qatar and in the region, and also, of course, aligned to Qatar's national vision in terms of economic diversification, and to build up on the success, not just only of the World Cup, but in the increasing hosting of major sports events in Qatar, and to position Qatar as a major hub for international sport. And we see in another week's time, we will have another running of Formula One in Qatar. So we're constantly attracting big events with other big events to follow, such as the Basketball Cup in 2027, and of course the Asian Games in 2030. Qatar has also had always has had aspirations to host a future Olympic Games, and is currently in dialogue phase with the International Olympic Committee. So of course, sports is a very important part of the ecosystem here in Qatar. The master's program is a 36 credit hour degree, and it's aimed at training students for management and leadership roles in sport and entertainment industries. And it covers the core basis of management within the context of sport, from the legal side, finance, marketing, operations, and management. And as I said, it's a joint degree with South Carolina, which is one of the top programs globally, and has been consistently in the top 10 in terms of the sports business rankings for sports management programs internationally. Next slide, please. In our program, we have the option, because we use exactly the same curriculum as that of South Carolina, and we have a third of the courses has to be taught by faculty of South Carolina. We have the option, students have the option of doing either the thesis route or the non-thesis route, and that's something you can decide as you go along in the program. But just so that you know that if you choose the thesis route, of course you have a dissertation. Our requirement in terms of South Carolina is 6 credit hours, and if you choose to do the alternative of a non-thesis, you would then need to do a comprehensive exam that comprises 4 of the 6 core courses, and and then you do 2 extra electives, so 5 as opposed to 3 in terms of the thesis option. Next slide, please. In terms of the core courses, as I mentioned, it is management focused, but of course apply to the sport context. So it will vary from a management in the sport and entertainment industry to sport law, which is taught by our colleagues in the College of Law, and then sports financing, sports finance, sports marketing, etc., and coupled with quantitative methods and business analytics. In terms of the elective courses, they vary from a seminar on the Olympic Games to sports governance, and then also, of course, in terms of keeping up with new trends and new avenues in terms of sport, with esports becoming a particularly big focus in the industry. We also offer the business of esport and sport entrepreneurship. For those that choose the non-thesis option, you have the opportunity to work within the industry. So we work very collaboratively with many of the big key stakeholders in industry, and we have HBKU, we have agreements with Qatar Olympic Committee. As an example, we work very closely, of course, in the past with Supreme Committee, also Generation Amazing. In terms of my colleague, Dr. Christos, who is in the full-time faculty here at Hamad bin Khalifa in the college here. He's also the UNESCO chair of governance and social responsibility in sport. So we have a large focus in terms of governance and social responsibility, and hence we introduced a new elective in terms of sports governance. Directed study would be the equivalent of independent study, which was mentioned earlier in other programs in the college, where you then also can focus on a particular research topic and work on that independently in terms of directed study. So these are the main elective courses among others. And I think we've kept it short and sweet. Ideally, if I know the next slide, I think if we've come to the end of the program. Oh yeah, not quite the end, almost the end. Just go to the one. I'll just very briefly just highlight. I think I've already spoken about our research polls in terms of tourism and hospitality. And so sustainability, of course, also a very big focus. And this is just an illustration of how our research from the students in terms of those who've chosen thesis topics, how they align to the Qatar's vision, and in terms of the various aspects is just an illustration of how the research is applied in terms of the World Cup, and very broadly from transportation management to planning legacy around Education City Stadium to the use of AI, and also looking at the volunteers, which make up a big component of hosting major sports events, from the social aspect, inclusion, whether women in sport or disability or promoting physical literacy are examples of students' thesis work. And then in terms of economic development, again, in terms of World Cup, positioning Qatar as not just as a hub for sport, but in terms of a sport tourism destination. And then once again, another example of working closely with industry in terms of the hosting of a European tour event, in terms of the Commercial Bank of Qatar Masters, and looking at the sustainability around those tournaments. So just to give you a snapshot of the kinds of projects that we work on, in terms of students' interest as well as our colleagues here, in terms of thesis projects, besides the South Carolina faculty coming to teach, your theses are jointly supervised with one faculty from our college, together with the faculty of South Carolina. So it's very much an integrated program between the two universities, and so we are looking forward to seeing some of you coming into the sports management program as well. On that note, that's the end, Hadil. Thank you.
So now our colleague from admission will go through the admission requirement.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum. Hi, everyone. This is Azza Al-Athamna, Head of Admission at Hamad bin Khalifa University. I'll go with you through the admission program and admission requirements for the application requirements for the programs that is offered through College of Engineering. So applicants seeking admission to the College of Science and Engineering graduate programs at Hamad bin Khalifa University should have a strong academic record. So we are looking for a minimum GPA of 3 out of 4 from a recognized university. Second, applicants who are to the master's program should have a bachelor degree, while applicants to the PhD program should have a master's degree. Some of the program, which is mainly PhD sustainability, sustainable energy and sustainable environment, required GRE general score at the time of the application. Applicants with career research experience are preferred, especially for the PhD programs. Next, please. Next, please. Okay, so can we return back to the slides before? Okay, so some programs required specific fields. The screen before, please. So for the PhD computer science and engineering, the students who can apply for this program, we recommend that they have a computer science background, computer engineering, electrical and electronic engineering, information systems, mathematics and related fields. For the master and PhD logistic and supply chain management, students should be coming from an engineering, computer science, information system, business, finance, economics, management, mathematics, and other related fields. Students are required to demonstrate strong analytical skills. For the master and PhD sustainable energy and environment, students should coming from an engineering and science disciplines preferred. Students from architecture, urban planning, business, economics, policy, and social sciences demonstrating strong analytical skills will also be considered. For the Master of Science in Data Science and Engineering, students should be coming from computer science, information system, engineering, mathematics, and related fields. Also for the cybersecurity. For the data analytics in health management, students should be coming from computer science, information system, electrical engineering, mathematics, statistics, or related fields. Applicants from health and medical fields may be considered, provided they have some knowledge of computer programming and relevant work experience. For the Master of Information System in Health Management, we recommend students coming from computer science, information systems, computer engineering. Applicants from health and medical fields with relevant work experience may also be considered. For the Master of Science in Sport and Entertainment Management, students should be coming from sport-related degrees, management, finance, engineering, business, and related fields. Applicants who have studied other fields may be considered. Next, please. Now we'll go through the application requirements. Students should apply online. They have to create an account and submit all the information and the documents that is required. That includes academic transcripts, For the bachelor student, the students who are applying for the masters, they have to submit their bachelor transcript. For the students who are applying for the PhD, should submit both bachelor and master transcripts with a minimum GPA of 3 out of 4, or it is equivalent. Students from different grading scales, they supposed to submit their grading scale. So we have some students who are coming from British system, students who are coming with percentage. So they have to provide us with the grading scale, so we'll be able to do the conversion and check their GPA out of 4. TOEFL or IELTS is a requirement, or otherwise they can submit a letter from the university stating that the medium of instructions was English. Provide a personal statement, write a paragraph between 300 to 500 words why you are interested in the program. Your CV, passport for the international student, passport and Qatari ID for the resident and Qatari students. We need 2 letters of recommendation. We recommend to have it from an academic referee, and there is an application fee of 250. Next, please. So our important dates: admission application deadline for international students will be the 2nd of February 2025. Admission applications deadline for Qatari and residents who are wish to apply for funding is the 13th of March 2025. And for late admission application deadline for Qatari and resident will be the 1st of May. Finally, the last, next please. So I think this is, the last one will be actually the contact information of the admission. We have 3 emails for the admission, for sustainability, for the ICT, and for the logistics. Please contact us if you need any help or any further information. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Azza. I think there is a video by Student Affairs.
Yes.
Azdean, can you go ahead and play the video?
قسم المشاركة الطلابية في إدارة شؤون الطلاب هو أحد الأقسام الداعمة للطلاب في جامعة حمد بن خليفة، والذي يسهم بشكل كبير في دعم الطلاب وإشراكهم وإخراطهم في الأنشطة غير الأكاديمية. هناك أنشطة رياضية، هناك أنشطة ثقافية، هناك أنشطة تعليمية، جميعها تكون خارج المنهج التعليمي، ولكن كلها يصب في النهاية نتائجها تصب في النتيجة التعليمية لكل طالب.
كل سنة الفرق عندنا عددها يكثر. عندنا لحد الآن 6 فرق رياضية: فريق كرة قدم فئة بنين، فريق كرة سلة فئة بنين وبنات، فريق كرة طائرة بنين وبنات، وعندي فريق فئة شباب كريكت.
احنا طبعا نتواصل في إدارة شؤون الطلاب من خلال إدارة التواصل المجتمعي وشؤون الطلاب مع الجامعات الشريكة الموجودة في قطر فاونديشن من خلال ما يسمى بالكارير سيرفيسز اللي هو الخدمات المهنية. قمنا في السابق في موضوع اللي هو المعرض المهني كارير فير. أيضا عملنا في السابق برنامج كان لقادة المجتمع، دعينا في معظم رؤساء الشركات وأيضا بعض الوزراء للتعرف على الجامعة وتعريفهم ببرامج الجامعة اللي تطرحها.
احنا في إدارة شؤون الطلاب نهتم خاصة في ناحية العلاقات المجتمعية، كتوقيع اتفاقيات، كزيارة الشركات الخاصة والغير خاصة للتعريف عن جامعة حمد بن خليفة، وتواصل اتفاقيات من ناحية توفير فرص للطلاب أو للخريجين، أو أنك إلى شركات أو القطاع الخاص عندهم مثلا وجهات نظر للتعاون، ممكن احنا نخدمها تحت إطار اتفاقية أو تحت إطار اللي هو تعاون مشترك ويانا.
Thank you very much, Azdean. I think we have come to the end of the presentation session. We have about 20 minutes for the Q&A. But I think before we go through the Q&A, because I can see from the questions, I was basically scrolling through the questions. I can see a lot of questions are related to GPA, related to scholarship, and then some of them are program specific. So just to address the question related to the GPA, a lot of students asking, I have this GPA, can I enter into the program? Well, let me try to summarize it to you. every year the minimum GPA or the average GPA is different because we have limited number of spots, and therefore it's like a competition. We admit the top, and then we have the average GPA. So if you have a GPA of 3, it doesn't mean it's guaranteed that you're going to be admitted, because it's like a competition. We have a pool of students. We try to select the best out of the students that we have. So if you ask me, I have 3.1, 3.2, 3.4, 3.8. I can never answer this question. Why? Because as I told you, we have a pool and we just select from the pool. Of course, our criteria is not just number based. It's not going to be just the GPA, but we will see whether you are qualified to the program you are applying to. So for example, if you're applying to data analytics, we will require some mathematical background, some programming skills. So all of these will be basically taken into consideration. So if you are a student with strong background in mathematics, of course, you will be better qualified to enter into the master in data analytics. So in addition to the GPA, also there are criteria related to the course you have taken. And in addition to that, of course, your previous experience. If you have been working in a project that is relevant to the degree program, then it's going to be a plus for you. So please don't ask this question, I have 3 GPA or I have 3.1 or 3.2. We cannot answer this kind of question. Just apply, and hopefully we will do our best to admit the best students and try to basically, if you qualify, of course, try to admit you. The other question, also there are students asking, I have a GPA less than 3, can I be admitted? Typically less than 3 is automatically disqualified. But if you are very close and you can substitute that with, let's say, you have an experience in industry that is very relevant to the degree program, you have some kind of skills that are relevant to the program, then you can be considered. But it's typically going through another committee, and this committee is going to look at exceptional cases, which means very, very few students, maybe under 3, will be admitted, but very rare cases. So basically, I advise you just to apply. Regarding the scholarships now, scholarships, we have limited scholarship, and scholarship are divided into 2 categories. The first category is what we call tuition waiver. So some students will get tuition waiver, which means instead of paying the 100%, you will be paying part of it, let's say typically around 30%. And in addition, some of the students that are not working, sometimes we also provide stipend. But since we have limited number of scholarship, whether it's tuition waiver or a stipend, then it's going to be very competitive. So if you ask us now, can I get a scholarship? The answer, we cannot tell you. Just apply, and it's going to be a competition. And we look at the best possible cases. We look at the GPA. We look at the courses you have taken. We look at your previous experience. We look at your statement. We look at it holistically, and then we make offers. So I think I wanted to say that because this will address a lot of the questions that I have seen. And I will turn the floor to Dr. Adina, who will be leading the Q&A and probably answering the questions that are specific to the program.
Thank you very much, Dr. Amin. So as Dr. Amin said, there are few questions. I tried actually to cluster the questions to the different divisions. But what I'm seeing here is the majority of the questions are on the GPAs. So there is a number question on GPA requirement. There is also, so as Dr. Amin said, the minimum GPA is 3, but is very competitive, the different programs. Basically, and it really depends on the program as well as on your experience and expertise. For example, there is a question here on the cybersecurity, for example. If you have experience in this field, then basically this will help you. But given that it is above 3 for the GRE and IELTS. So basically the IELTS, if you've been in an undergrad and a master program that was taught in English, the English certificate is waived. Some of the PhDs, and this admission might correct me as well on this, some of the PhD program require a GRE, but not all of them. I would strongly suggest that you check our detailed admissions page. What else in terms of questions? The GPA is clearly answered, I guess, by Dr. Amin.
Yeah, I also have seen some students talking about, I want to work on this field, I want to do this, I have an idea of research. Put this in your statement. So in your statement, this can help. You can put that in your statement because, as I said, we don't look just at the GPA. GPA is important, but we look at the courses, we look at your statement, we look at your extracurricular activity, we look at what kind of field you have been interested in, your training. And we also know that different parts of the world have different grading systems. If you're coming, let's say, from Europe, I myself studied in Europe, in France, typically a GPA of let's say, 3.2 is already on the very high side in France, let's say. So we also are familiar with different grading systems, so we will take that into consideration. So please don't ask about the GPA, apply. So because if you tell me now I have 3.8, can I be admitted? I will tell you I don't know. Because as I said, it's going to be a competition. We have limited spots and we try to pick the best. And you should try, just try, apply, put as much information as you can, put a good statement reflecting your interest and put your previous experience and hopefully you get admitted. Don't waste your time asking us now whether I can be admitted. We cannot answer that question now.
Thank you, Dr. Amin. And there is one basic question on scholarships and whether, so the scholarship, if given, it has its own conditions, for example, maintaining a good standard in terms of the GPA, as well as whether it will, the duration of the scholarship. Usually you would sign the agreement every year based on your performance and your advisor recommendation. So that's in terms of the scholarship. We cannot guarantee. Basically, you need to apply firstly, and then you could basically, if you're selected for a scholarship, then you would receive a letter, and that's really it's based on merit. I think. So, and there are some questions that are very research specific. As Dr. Amin said, please clearly put it in your research statement once you apply. And I also would personally encourage you to contact faculty if you're interested in their work and show your interest in terms of your research statement. So most of the questions, I guess, are on about admissions and about also there is a question on your basically your specialty in your undergrad and your master. So I see a question here on a person who is a pharmacist. So it's really important that your undergrad and your master align with what you will do in your PhD. That's very important. But as you may have seen in this presentation today, many of the programs are multidisciplinary. So they would basically, you would have basically an interest in a field that is between computing and medicine, for example. And so it's really important for you to have the correct guidelines and background, and that you can clearly find in our admission website. It will tell you each program what kind of background it requires. I'm seeing here, I think Azzeddin, you're sharing the questions. Is it? Yes, if you could just expand the Word file for me to see. Okay, thank you. That's good. Thank you. So here is a question: how can I maximize my admission chances? I think the stronger your research statement, the more complete your application, the better your grades are. All are contributing factors for you basically having a higher chance of admission. Of course, having the minimum is not enough, like a 3 GPA, but basically showing your excellence, whether in your work field or in your research. If you're applying for a PhD and you have some published works, it's important to emphasize in your research statement and CV. Our graduate classes run in the afternoon, yes. Our classes are from 4 to 7. Does it affect my chances if I'm applying for a second time? Not really. No, you can always apply. So our graduate classes are in the afternoon, yes, and as because many of our students from whether they are basically locally based in Qatar, whether they're national expat, actually have full-time jobs. So the classes are from 4 to 7, whether it's our masters and PhD. So for the master program in sustainable environment, what is the percentage of tuition fee is covered? This is really subject to the, as you stated clearly in your question, on the university scholarship, basically, and what you will be offered as a scholarship. So that you will have more understanding of it after applying to our programs. So as Dr. Amin said, there is two types of scholarships. There is the tuition waiver, which cover 75 to 80% of the tuition waiver for our master students. And then there is the scholarship that basically the PhD scholarship, which cover the tuition waiver as well as a stipend. But whether you're qualified for this or not is subject to the application process, and it's based on merit. Considering classes that may include both masters and PhD students, how is the performance evaluate process conducted to ensure fairness? Of course, basically, those are postgraduate courses, and they are basically, so if the course code starts with a 6 or a 7, so it's a postgraduate courses, and basically the PhD has separate core courses than the master program. And they are basically, and if it's an elective, then both PhDs and master can take this elective, and in the elective they are graded in the same way, but in the core you are taking actually different courses as core. I think only one is the same, which is the research method. How can I apply for JESRA? That's a very good question. So QRDI announces JESRA every year. Around April or May of every year, and then if basically you receive an acceptance letter from HBKU, then you can apply for JESRA, because JESRA, as per my knowledge of the last cycle, they ask for an acceptance letter and they have a certain criteria. I encourage you to go and visit their website. Actually, this is available all around the year, but the call actually changes just every year. What's the minimum GPA? I think we've discussed this. For scholarship, should I apply to the university first? Is there any separate process? No, there is no separate process. You apply for the admission cycle, and following that, if you fit within the criteria of basically scholarship, then you will be offered a letter will be sent to you. What items does the scholarship cover? Actually, as Dr. Amin said, there are two types. There is the waiver, and then there's tuition and waiver. It's a tuition. It's a whole sum of tuition. Then you can cover the housing and the tickets. Actually, it's, I think, one travel ticket a year is covered by the college for the student only. Are there any scholarship or funding cover tuition fee fully or partially? Yes, there is the scholarship, the PhD scholarship, but it's again subject on merit. And as a dental professional with certificate in healthcare informatics and analytics, what are the chances admissions for the MIS? Well, if you have a good GPA, then the chances are very high. So I encourage you to apply. What criteria for accepting scholarship? It's again based on merit. What are the key elements that should be included in a personal statement? If it's a PhD, then your research interest is very, very important. And please check the research interest of the faculties, the labs at HBKU, at CSE, because you would need to align your work basically based on these different interests. Does scholarship cover travel expenses and housing? I answered this question. After being accepted, am I allowed to work with while studying in Qatar? Well, it depends on your scholarship. If you have a full scholarship, not really, because you will be fully sponsored by Qatar Foundation. But it depends really on your scholarship. It has nothing to do with acceptance. How is the field of data science in Qatar in terms of job opportunities? I think all around the world, this field is booming in many fields, as what my colleagues and faculty presented today. What is the acceptance rate at Hamad bin Khalifa, and how many students are typically awarded a scholarship each year? It's very, I don't have any numbers with me really. And I think in the beginning of the presentation, the Dean and the Associate Dean, Dr. Amin, presented some of the numbers of students we currently have and accept. So these are the questions I see in the Word file. But I would like to give the floor to my colleagues if they would like to answer any question. Dr. Camelia, Dr. Nazir, please feel free. Dr. Peter as well, and Ms. Azza, if you would like to answer any of the questions.
I think you covered most of it from what I saw on there, Dr. Dina. I think you've covered most, and a lot of them was very similar in terms of what the issues were raised. So nothing from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Camilla. Dr. Nazir, please.
While you were answering the questions, and I was checking whether there is any questions specifically related to logistics and supply chain management, I saw only one. I think it was mentioning whether it's his or she's has bachelor of degree from mechanical engineering, and he or she we would like to have her to apply, and hopefully he or she will be attended. And I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nazir. Dr. Peter, would you like to answer any question, or have you spotted any relevant question to your division?
I think it was quite comprehensive. Thank you, Dr. Dima. My recommendation to students would be also, to study the profile of the faculty. And so if you find someone that you really, have a strong research interest, try and align your statement to their interest, or reach out to them. I would encourage as well. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Peter. So I see another question here. Is there a priority for permanent residence holders in Qatar? Actually, it's truly based on merit, to be honest. So I would encourage you to work very hard in preparing a good application. And so you can get the best grade, but having a good application is really important, whether your research statement should be strong if you're really willing to be in this competitive sort of application process. So I encourage you to work on your application. Is there a priority for some national? So basically, it's really our student body is very diverse. So we have national residents and international. So it's as I said, it's based on merit. Could you please attach the presentation? I'll leave it to the HBKU communication team to decide on that. So to this end, I think we've reached the end of today's open house. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending, for the interested student, for the Dean, Dr. Munir Hamdi, the Associate Dean, Dr. Amin Bermak, and my fellow colleagues in the College of Science and Engineering, HBKU Comms, Ms. Hadir and Dr. Atiq for organizing this event. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a nice evening.